let's go get our hash. Hello everybody, it's Barry here. Hope you are well wherever you are in the world. I'm in my car, which probably sounds like an incredible recording studio. If you're wondering straight off the bat, Barry, do you drive like a Tesla or something like that? All the YouTubers do? No, I generally don't really like flashy cars. I have a fear that I'll probably ruin it anyway. I do a lot of recycling runs for the family because we eat a lot of food. So I've basically got a go-kart. And I also worry about parking it in supermarkets and things because there's always someone else that might just be like, yeah, I've got... You know, I like cars, but do you know what I like more? I like McDonald's hash browns. And as it's one of my last videos of the year, I'm buying McDonald's, yes. I'm gonna order some hash browns. I'm gonna eat one now fresh because I love them. There's something like a comforting, pillowy, potatoey snack. I love it. We'll have another one, which we'll compare just for the shape of the ones that we make homemade at the end of this video when we go back to the kitchen in a bit. Oh, here we go, here we go. All right, just be good, just be good.
Hi, can I help?
Hi, can I get 2 hash browns, please?
Anything else?
No, that's it, please.
Next one when you're ready.
Oh, actually, sorry, can I get 3?
3 hash browns?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that everything?
Yeah, that's perfect, thank you. Do you need to wear your face mask in a drive-through? I don't know. And there's still technically a... Alright, cheers, thank you. Thanks, bye. Wow, that really was fast food. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What? It's not in a packet. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Here it, yes. Yes, what we want. Oh, I'm so hot. Here we go. There is just this, it's like almost like chunks of potato. They're grated, I'm sure, but like they still feel like they've got a bit of texture to it, not like incredibly finely like potato masher style. Really crunchy gold on there. Like the crunch is awesome. You break into that and it's soft and pillowy. I don't think there's much sort of spices going on or anything like that too much. Oh. Over the years, don't get me wrong, both in the UK and abroad on some stag do's, hash browns have got me through the day. They are sometimes, I mean, and of course, it's a little bit naughty, but it's a treat, right? Yeah, that's actually really interesting because the potato chunks are like shards of glass. Not that you'd want that in a hash brown, but that it's not super fine. And that's something I have to take into consideration as we head back to the kitchen now and try and replicate the hash brown. Ah, right, time to drive round again and get a bacon roll. All right, so I've just found out I've got the ingredients list on the McDonald's website, and they don't actually use eggs, which I was thinking might be kind of thing you'd like, don't do like the batter thing, and then they don't use plain flour. They use cornflour, which is also known as cornstarch, and potato flour. Now, potato flour isn't something I can just grab off one of the supermarket shelves that I go to, so I'm gonna have to probably get some smash or instant mashed potato mix and whiz that up and kind of hope that that's gonna do its thing. It's seasoned, that's what else I can see, and it does also have a little bit of beef flavouring, but very delicately. So I might put a stock cube in my oil. Alright, so we're back home and these are still just slightly warm, so I'm glad that I had a little nibble on one at the shop just to remind myself of the taste. After going in the shop, checking the website for the ingredients list on McDonald's, like, wow, I didn't come out with flour or eggs. I've got some pretty interesting stuff, including a dilemma with the beef stock. We'll come on to that. Then I returned to my car and it stank of a hash brown protest. It was like literally a McDonald's in my car. So yeah, having read the ingredients on the McDonald's website, it was like, okay, we're going down one path, but one thing we can agree on is the McDonald's potatoes. They're starchy, so not really like a waxy one, like, you know, like new potatoes, things like that. This is a King Edward potato. Russet or Maris Piper should also do the job. So we should see some starch now. But hopefully you can see just by putting that one in there already, we're gonna need quite a lot. I'm gonna jump to that step. It's made that quite starchy indeed. And we haven't even started slicing it yet. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep peeling away this potato, and I wasn't sure actually if I needed to peel them at all, because when I've had the hash browns in the past, I thought, oh, is that like that crunchiness? Is there some sort of like skin on there that's sort of being fried? But no, peel them away and plonk them. Oh my gosh, that had a little cloud then. Starchy. Okay, I'm not going to make too many, but I think I don't grate potatoes that often. I think getting 4 large ones should do quite a lot. So we've got a box grater, and this is the largest setting, the one that I normally put like cheddar cheese on and things like that. Because doing it like that is what's going to give us those nice big chunks like we saw in the proper one. I'm just still thinking to myself, normally I would use like an egg to kind of bond anything like this together when I fried it, but anyhow, ooh, wow. I would say that that's more than enough for one. Maybe one potato is 2 hash browns. That's a lot there. So I've got 4. I'll keep grating those. That's a lot of spud. I'm just editing that video and I noticed when I was grating one of the potatoes, one of them splattered on the lens. So unfortunately we've got a bit of potato cam for the rest of this video at certain times. Look at the difference between a fresh tap water and the cloudy one that we put in when we first peeled them to stop them discolouring and also remove a bit of the initial starch. But of course now we've grated it, it's the equivalent. Are you going to slide in all together? Oh my gosh. It is the equivalent of basically slicing it up super fine. So I'm just going to give it, oh, look at the colour difference. A nice little bath. All right, I should be draining this off, but for some reason this is like way more enjoyable than it should be. So I actually run that through the water 6 more times. It's gone a lot clearer than it was. One reason you can do that is I think it lowers the carbohydrate levels. That might be a lie. Fairly certain it does. The other reason is we're going to actually boil these to make it nice and soft in the middle, just like when we're making chips. And when I make chips or fries, depending on where you are, you don't want too much starch on there because it can stick together. So that's why we're doing it. Don't put the potatoes in yet, otherwise you're going to extend the cooking time. Get the water just simmering. You got to remember, you're not boiling a potato this size, you're boiling a potato this size, and if you overcook it, it's going to basically be mush and you're going to lose that texture. So basically, if you can imagine when you boil an egg, I've seen me do it before, we plunge it into cold water to stop it cooking. That is what we're going to do. Cold water, when these potatoes have had a couple of minutes, straight in there to hopefully stop them being mushy. Okay, I'm just reading the ingredients back and the ratio of salt and sugar versus the actual flour is much higher. And I don't, I don't ever remember eating a hash brown and being like, oh, that's sweet, like really sweet or really salty. Salt and sugar, equal amounts. That can go in there. Yeah, I'm feeling confident with that actually, because otherwise the salt and sugar, I would have done it in once we dry the potatoes off, which would probably have tasted like dropping an ice lolly in sand on a beach. Very salty, very sweet. I'm talking from experience. Okay, so let's carefully push these in. It's gonna lower the temperature slightly because it's been in cold water, but honestly, don't cook this any more than 2 minutes and have your plunge pool ready. So I've got a colander into an empty bowl. Drain that water off straight away. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Straight into its ice bath. Oh! And a little bit on my counter as well. Now, I don't know if you've ever had hash browns where the taste in the middle, where sometimes you get them where the hash brown, the potato is a little bit raw, not raw, but just semi-cooked. If anything, undercook the potatoes, but leave them in your bath. All right, so we drain them off, and look, they're not mushy, they're holding together. Ah, there's a potato. Now, this is a cheesecloth, which I happen to have because I've used it for some cheese videos and other bits in the past, so really good for getting moisture out of things. If you don't have one of these, you can just get a lot of kitchen towel and look at that, oh my gosh, and just pass it back and forth. So you squeeze all that moisture, you wouldn't have thought all that was in there. Wow, look. I feel like I'm milking a potato. But the more of this moisture we squeeze out, the better it's got a chance of actually bonding to the other ingredients. If it's wet, it's just gonna slide off, particularly as we're not using an egg. So my thoughts are a little bit like when you make a burger, I might actually just get it all flavored, shape it into that patty kind of rectangular circle thing that we want. Oh, that is so slimy and starchy. And then I think once I've got it in the shape I want, because we've got the perfect template for it, haven't we? I'm gonna get so much fluid out of these. It's gonna take a little while, but it'll be really, really worth it. So I do put the effort in, all right, folks? All right, hopefully now we might have, oh yes, a tennis ball potato. Oh my gosh, just deep frying that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Oh, looks a bit like a pear. And we're gonna need some kitchen towel for frying later anyway, but if you want, like you can see by putting the kitchen towel on there, that's hardly taking on any moisture at all. Yes, yes. It's time to season it. So this is a teaspoon of onion granules. Oh, they smell good. There is some other thing on the ingredients list that says like E5211. Well, I can't get that, but I'm sure it's in Star Wars. And we also need pepper, but as you know, I generally tend to like doing fresh milled stuff with black peppercorns, but I bit into it, there was nothing but a white pillowy center. So I invested in some white pepper, okay, which is still slightly darker, but I think it's fine. So a teaspoon of that as well. And this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So cornflour, aka cornstarch, normally a thickener for gravies and things, that is in there. That's gonna be the real thing that holds it all. And of course, when you put the box away, please make sure to get as much on your counter as possible. So here we go, some instant mashed potato. Oh my gosh, it is so fine. The stuff that I bought, sometimes it comes as flakes. I was gonna whiz it up, but that is almost, it's beyond that. It's a fine powder. It's like a salt or pepper. It's beyond salt. It's finely milled. But is it cheating a little bit? Because you're driving more potato in there. That looks like a potato flour, so I'm taking that, all right? Salt is listed twice, and the second amount is much smaller, so I'm gonna just literally do that. Get a little bit in there. Just because it makes me feel like I've done it. Yeah, because I feel like the tablespoon that I added before was a little bit overpowering. So hopefully, if we mix this all together, it will become one kind of clumpy, slightly more dried out, moldable potato mix that is seasoned. Because even like looking like this, I feel like, look, I can do this now. I can literally make a hash brown in my hand like that. Let's shape. All right, great. So possibly the coldest hash brown in the world now. But it does make me realise it's not actually that much potato, especially with the height of it as well. That's just what I've put down, and you pretty much achieve the height you want anyway. There we go. Oh my gosh. I am really happy with that. Yeah, baby. So I'm going to keep repeating that and let you know how many I end up with, but I can almost feel that now. If I try and move that, it is a teeny bit delicate. So we will put them in the fridge, or maybe the internet fridge, the freezer, just to speed it up. Just because actually that's probably how they arrive at the McDonald's anyway, isn't it? And then they just chuck them straight in the fire, which is exactly what we're going to do. But out of interest, actually, those 4 potatoes gave us 4 and about a half size one. So almost like a potato per hash brown, which is quite surprising. So whilst they cool and firm up, I'm going to walk my dogs, who they look really enthusiastic right now. So it has been an hour, walk the dogs, a little bit nippy out there, not going to lie. Just washed up, adding oil for the frying of the hash browns to a large pan. They're in there now, nice and cold and firmed up. So the McDonald's website ingredients says something about beef flavoring being in the oil. I think you could probably get away, well, you definitely could get away with omitting this. But the more accessible things you can get, this literally is a beef stock cube that you can use to make gravy, right? My problem is, even if I put this in the oil now, which is obviously cold, I could end up frying tiny little granules in the oil and it'll actually just cook it. So it could actually work, but my belief is that I'm gonna use one of these stock pots, okay? So I'm only gonna use probably, I mean, like a quarter of a teaspoon like that, but we can put it in the oil. There we go. It's just in there like that. As it's more of a jelly, it should dissolve into the oil and kind of flavor it beef styly, yeah. I have never done this before, so if this completely destroys the oil, then I'll just go again with oil on its own. If also it looks disgusting once it's done and it was like, what the hell is that, and turns it into like a gravy coloured hash brown, we'll omit that too. But all I'm gonna do is warm this up. It looks like a random mole. All this for a beef flavouring, which you might just take for granted anyway and be like, no, it doesn't make a difference at all. Or it could be massive difference. So here we go, 2 discs going in. Woo! I'm hoping that I only need to cook the other 2 so I can keep the others in the freezer and like have it for breakfast in a few days. Ah, oh jeez. Oh yeah, I'm taking them out. Because there's no egg holding it together, you've got a much, I love the colour. You've got like almost like a stringy texture to it where we haven't really compressed it too much. But the colour and the smell is looking amazing. I love the fact that we've followed an actual true ingredients list on the website rather than just shoving the egg in it. A little bit more strandy like that. But oh my gosh. And there we go. That is one cold floppy hash brown. This is awesome. My house does smell of cold McDonald's. I know what this tastes like. I'm not gonna, no. But my one, trying to follow the exact ingredients on the website, the colour is pretty much there. I've got a few more specks of pepper than I'd like, and it's kind of gone more like a rusty. Oh, Oh my gosh, I don't know if there actually is a stock cube in there normally, but that's amazing. It has got not a really strong beef vibe, but much more than a standard hash brown. We've even got that pillowy potato in there. I think If I did this again, I'd make it just slightly thicker so we get a bit more in there, but there is enough. There's a real crispy outside. The crunch was amazing. Soft, pillowy, pre-cooked potato in there. Crunch and softness. Oh! I've not got a mould like McDonald's have to compress it and make it into that patty, and it's gone a little bit more rustic, but I didn't mind that. The freshness of it, the crunch, but the pillowy centre still has worked a charm. Would I do this again instead of nipping to McDonald's for 99p for a hash brown? Probably not. But that was blooming fun and tastes amazing. Just, I think, a teeny bit thicker, a little bit less pepper as well, maybe. But it's become its own thing and actually tastes a bit better. Yeah, that's the only thing. I probably should have 3D printed a hash brown mold to really compress that down, but I love the rusticness of it. So if you do give this a try, do tag me on your social media of choice. Don't forget to subscribe for regular videos and food fun. I'll see you next time. Ciao!
Got all the notes, baby, like a treble clef. Cooking up this song like the naked chef. I know what you're thinking, British guy drinking tea, but I'm gangster British, baby. I prefer chickpeas.
Little bonus scene just for your reference. Putting it in the freezer is pretty essential. I thought I'd put one in the fridge just to firm it up and see what that does. Look, that is one that is just disbanded into little hash brown islands. Damn right I'll still eat it. Do you taste any of the beef in the oil or...?
No, but you can smell it when you walk in the house.
Okay. You should smell my car. Oh, Magic Tree McDonald's hash brown edition. All right, folks. See you later.